what we'll do is we'll go through each one of the phone models and their basic call functions and features. Okay. So along the right side here, you have your feature and line keys. So on this particular phone model, what we have is a single key configured with 5 more available. Okay. And those can be lines, and a line denotes a directory number, basically, but it can send and receive up to 200 calls on one line. Unlike the old phone types, where you had to have, for every call, you had to have a different button, and as you got more calls, it scaled down the phone. In this whole system, that's not the case. You can take, like I said, in this particular model, I think you can send and receive up to 200 phone calls in using this one button. When we get to some of the demonstration capabilities, I'll show you how the software cascades those calls in the software so that you're not using physical landscape. But what you could have here is more busy lamp speed dials, for example, that are an indicator of the status of somebody else's line, and also a speed dial. So they light up when the phone's in other lines in use. They could also be shortcut keys to services, voicemail services, paging services, lots of different kinds of features and functionality. Across the bottom, you have your soft keys. These are contextual, so they will change as the state of the phone changes. A quick demonstration of that is right now, you have redial new call and call forward all. So if I hit the new call, it takes the phone off hook on speaker. And you'll see the status change. Now, new call changes to end call. Same if I pick up the handset, same deal. Okay. Very contextual, and those are appropriate for, you don't see any transfer or conference here because you're not on a call. This is your navigation button array, up, down, right, right, left, and select. Here you have some of your shortcut keys, I like to call them. Messages, which will dial the voicemail system. Directories, which provide you a list of directories. The most common, kind of like your cell phone, missed calls, received calls, placed calls, those are used a lot. You'll see when I see that, you can see a missed call. That was Ed's test call. Back. Exit. Actually, go back in directories. There's should also be a corporate directory here, number 5. This should be able to search anybody in the organization and find their number. So, gone are the days where you have to have a printed directory by the phone. Cool. Okay, and you can search by person's name, first name, last name, or extension number. If you know the extension, don't know whose phone it is, you can look that way. This information will also show up in your placed and received and missed calls. Okay, so missed calls is calls you didn't answer, obviously. Received are calls that were placed to your phone that you did answer, and placed calls are the calls that you sent out. Personal directories beyond the scope of our discussion today, but it is your own personal directory of numbers, speed dials, et cetera, that you can configure. We're not going to cover that today. So some of the settings that you'll find here on the settings button, this would be things like ringers. You can change your ringer to any number of different types, and you can play with that all day long. And this is useful in an area where there's multiple phones in one area, you need to distinguish your phone's ring from somebody else's. Right? Because by default, they're all set to that, and that's really confusing. Background images, I don't know if there are any loaded up. This is just one. You can load up other images. We could put an Albert Einstein Academy logo on there. You could put a picture of your favorite car, your girlfriend, or whatever. I'm not going to cover that. Brightness, you can change the screen's brightness and color palette, etc. And contrast, which isn't available there. Everything else, I think, is pretty much administrative and not really used by an everyday user. Okay. Services, this would be if we light up some features that require services URLs. You would access those services URLs either by hitting that button, or you can place them on a shortcut, right, a feature key here. We don't have any services configured, so we won't cover that. Speakerphone, I already covered how you can answer. You can start a new call by just picking up and dialing. You can hit new dial. If you don't touch the handset, it will always go to speaker. Okay. You can switch back and forth by just picking up, but you can't just hang up to go back to speaker. You have to hit the speaker button to go back to speaker. Okay, then you can hang up. There's a headset capability, and let me talk about, while I get to that, I'm going to flip the phone around and talk about the back of the phone for a sec. You know, it goes without saying, but sometimes I like to mention it. Sorry for moving the table there. This is just a standard internet protocol Ethernet device. It's a computer, essentially, that rides your data network and treats the voice application as just another application like Word, Excel. And so that's why it plugs in. It gets its power from the network, so it doesn't need a separate power adapter, although if you didn't have power on your network, you could use a power adapter. And then you can plug your computer, if you want to be wired, plug it into the back of the phone. Okay? Cool. On this particular model, the stand is adjustable by pushing this button on the side. So it's this button right here, and so you can lay it up, down, etc. With this particular cable, though, the higher the better. Let me get that out of the way. And then I wanted to show the headset jack. So this doesn't require any external amplifier. So there's lots of headsets on the market, and maybe some of the ones that you potentially already had at the old school. I don't know if this is a big application since a lot of the phones are mounted to the wall. Having a headset on with a phone mounted to the wall doesn't make a lot of sense. But it's there, and you toggle that on by hitting that button. So now if you use the soft keys to do a new call, and you'll see it changes the icon to headset there. If I do new call, it's off hook on the headset, not the speaker. So it's basically a toggle. Okay, and that's really only applicable if you have a headset. Otherwise, I want to go back to speaker. Your volume button's here. When the phone is idle, it changes your ringer. When you're on the speaker, it changes your speaker. And when you're on a handset or headset, it changes the volume on that. And you always have to hit save to keep that volume level. Otherwise, the next time you use the phone, it'll go back to what it was before you changed it. For phones mounted on the wall, there's a little dongle here you've got to pull out, flip around, so that it provides that lip so the handset doesn't fall off. But for desk phones, it goes like it was before, so that the handset doesn't get stuck to the phone. But when your phone's up like this, users are just by nature going to pick the phone straight up. When it's on the desk, users are going to want to pull it out like that. Okay. Standard number pad. Needs no explanation. This little button right here is actually designed to wake the phone up. The network will actually put the phone to sleep where the phone's still active, but the display goes off. You can just hit that button to wake it up if you want to. What we'll do is I'll pump a call in, and we'll just show you what it would look like. So it's similar to the other features. You just hit more. What happened? More. You park. So now it's saying no park number, but it will ask you for the park number, or it will tell you the park number, I think is what it does. So, and then the call's parked, right? And then you can use the paging system to page. You can go ahead and hang up. Then you would page, and the user would do it this way. I think if you pick up the phone here, go ahead and pick it up. You can do pick up, and I believe that's how you retrieve the park call. Okay, right.
Pick up the
number. Right. Group pickup actually will. I'll have to look. Let me look that up actually. Pickup is more designed for if you're in a pickup group, right? You can use group pickup. So that just means essentially if I'm in an area with 5 people and the phones are ringing in that area of 5 people, and I'm in the group and it's configured for group pickup, I can hit that group pickup number and pick up any ringing phone in my group, which is good if there's a shared responsibility to answer the phone, if that makes sense. All right, so voicemail, each person in the organization should have voicemail. And we're going to, what's the default password, Ed? 139708852.
Welcome to
Okay.
Cisco Unity Connection.
And you're going to get the first time the mailbox tutorial.
Exit, press star.
Okay?
Okay.
A recorded name identifies you to other callers.
This will walk the caller through changing their PIN, right? Changing their PIN, recording their name, recording their greeting, etc.
Cool. So
Okay.
So you just punch in that number, or hit message, just punch in that number, and then.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
If
So
if they start it and don't finish it, will it finish it, or will it start from the beginning? It'll probably start from the beginning.
yeah, if they don't finish it, I think whatever they've done is saved, but it will want them to go back and finish. So
But
it'll.
same process to get to.
Yeah, you can actually, I think, exit out a lot of that, right?
Followed by pound. Welcome to Cisco
So-
Unity.
I hit star.
Hello, Cisco Unity.
Now I'm just logged in.
messaging system.
Okay.
From a touch-tone telephone, you may dial an extension at any time.
Oh no,
For a directory of extensions, press 4.
that's the main greeting.
Otherwise, please hold for an operator.
So what we'll do now, he's got the
Enter your
tutorial
PIN,
turned off.
Followed by pound. Enter your PIN followed by pound. Invalid. Enter your PIN followed by. Welcome to Cisco Unity Connection. Please take a moment to personalize or update your settings. Invalid selection.
No, it's not
Try
still on.
again.
It's still on.
Welcome.
Oh, try now.
Enter your PIN followed
You
by
promise?
pound. Administrator.
See, that's what
Hello.
will come up,
You
and that's
have
not good.
One new voice message.
So I just wanted to
Setup
go
options.
setup
Change
options.
your
Option
greeting.
4 from the main menu.
1. Message settings.
Greetings are
Your current greeting
Option,
is the standard
1 in the second level of the menu.
Administrator is unavailable. To re-record this greeting, press 1.
And this is where you can record greetings.
Your greeting at the tone.
Okay.
When you are finished,
So from the main greeting, option 4 and then option 1 will get you into greetings. 90% of the reason why users call into their voicemail system, other than to retrieve voicemails, is to change their greeting. So I'm going to go ahead and dial you. What I'm going to ask you to do is to wave it off, if you can. No, just let it go to voicemail. We'll leave a test message, and you'll see here something I didn't talk about. That's your message waiting light.
administrator is not available. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound.
Hi, this is a test message. We're doing training. Light should go on. The voicemail light should go on.
Enter your PIN.
Don't know why it didn't.
Enter your PIN. Administrator. Hello. You have 2 new voice messages.
There you go.
One is marked for dispatch. New messages. Message 1.
So it's going to automatically go in and play the message. Hi, this is a test message. We're doing training. Okay. Ordinarily, you'll get a red light, and you'll get an icon that says you have a new voicemail message, okay? When users see that, they should go in via that method and retrieve that message.